Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And we're taking a look at the K-Dance Challenge from the first season of Street Man Fighter. This is going to be between, I believe, Mbitious and, let me just take a little look here. It'll be between Mbitious and YGX. So, pretty excited about this. This is the last challenge one of the K-pop challenge for me, so I've already kind of seen the other three, so I'm very excited about this one. This is also the first time I'll be seeing Mbitious as a group outside of the crew previews, so I'm very excited about that. It's gonna be really cool. I will say I've already experienced this. I am not a fan of how Choom decided to go about making these videos, because instead of just putting a gray bar saying this is so-and-so's choreo, they did a split screen, and I'm like, that really can be super distracting whenever you're watching it. So I'm just letting you know, I do already factor that in. There's a chance I'll have to flip-flop between videos just to make sure I see everything so I can look at it as objective as possible, so I apologize for that. But anyway, let's get into it.
All ambitious men in the crew. Ambitious!
박수 지금부터 손에 불날 때까지 박수 차차차차 이때 다시 불며 쳐 박수 차차차차 성성에 이래오네 우리끼리 신이 나지 이 노래 끝까지 쳐 박수 차차차차 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 아주 nice. 아주 nice. nice. 아주 nice.
Okay.
오늘 하루도 아주 즐거웠어. 다음 데이트도 빨리 했으면 좋겠어.
Nice. A wave into the nay-nay. This is so interesting. Okay. Let's have a look here. I feel, oh my gosh, is there, what's his name? Hoya? Is Hoya in Mbitious? That looks just like him from Infinite. Gen 2. If that's the case, that's kind of wild. Not gonna lie. I think that's really cool if that is in fact him. I will probably, after this challenge, I have no idea why it even thinks to look up the names of these people to just see if I recognize them. But that's a me issue. Let's go ahead and take a look back here. Okay, really great start. I love this beginning, which is really fun with the guitar. That was super fun. Love that choice. I would say very captivating. Jin really captivated there. And then we also gotta talk about the fact, I think this is Tarzan, right? Do you see the fact that his entire arm is covered in that tape? And I know it's because he's got sleeves on both sides. I just find that to be funny. But anyway, let me see. Mbitious. So Mbitious choreographed this part. It looks cool. It matches well. But they're running into similar things that I've already talked about in their crew preview, and I'm going to say it again here. They are a new crew. They do not have a sense of formality with how they are cohesive with each other. They're individuals still. Do you know what I mean? So I really feel that we are going to continue to see this problem, or hopefully be able to see them turn this into really cool choices that they make, because it is a fresh look that they're bringing to the table. But you also got to factor in there's certain things in their range, especially when you're going up against, I haven't watched YGX, but I know there's a chance they're going to be very clean, especially based on the excerpt of the choreography that we saw. It looks very YG, very K-pop in nature, and I know a lot of these people have a K-pop background on both sides, but I know YGX is heavily known for that, and they've known each other for a long time. Longer than Mbitious. I'll just put it that way. So I think just the range, they're doing the choreo, but they're doing the exact same nuances that we've already seen. They're doing it as 7 individuals, not as they're the same. So like, even take a look here. You have one of them fully committed all the way down. He's only kind of there. Like, this really affects your cleanliness a lot. Just little details. And when you're against another crew that's a high caliber, those little details make a big difference. I mean, it's clean though. Like, they're holding it down. It's just not the cleanest section. I like the hit with the boom boom. That was cool. Yep, that into the gangsta walk with the clap. I just love, they have really great fun choices, and I think that's what I was like looking forward to with them. I also shout out to a lot of the, this is all the, it's like the NFL jerseys. It's just kind of fun. Yeah, all this are taking heavy inspiration from the footwork from Aju Nice, which is really nice. Yeah, get it? I like how they're hitting it with that similar kind of groove or that pocket that this song, I honestly really, I'm glad that they're hitting it here. It's really fun. Yeah. Yeah. So I will say this has more of like a classic look of movement than like it matches what they've done already. But I do feel that it doesn't quite look like them either. It doesn't. And I know it's not them. It feels like it's just little things because it's not as crisp as a lot of the movement context is. I feel like some of the sequences could have been a little bit cleaner here in this way. Yeah, especially with the hand. Like, there's a lot of movements here that work if it's clean, and this is not as clean and as crisp as it needs to be to really get that point across. I like the pull there. And I like how they finished with the M. That's fun. I think they held it down really well. Huge fan of that. I really like their take, all in all. Yeah. So honestly, shame on me. I really should have researched these crews more. I was just going through the videos. You know what? Probably as soon as I'm done with this K-pop challenge, I'm going to be going through my lists of everybody who is in this challenge or like who's in these crews, just to make sure that I'm on the same page. Because me just guessing, I think there was a certain point too, I thought Wu-Tae, like I know Wu-Tae is in this crew, right? I swore he was in a different crew at some point, so I need to get myself in check. But anyway, before we do that, we need to go ahead and watch their competitor, YGX. And we're ready to watch.
It's our turn. YGX.
YGX. Here we go. Let's go.
박수 지금부터 손에 불날 때까지 박수 자자자자.
Okay. I like the suit. That's pretty clean. It's pretty evenly matched, I think. This is what makes it fun. Woo! That was clean. That was clean. That was really cute. Wow. Okay, makes sense why they have the choreography the way they did it. Matches their concept way more. Very clean on that. With their wax. That was fun. That was fun. That was so cute. Yeah. I really, oh, ending fairy. Oh. Did they have to do the ending fairies? Oh, I just realized because I would stop it at the end of the set, but they made them do little ending fairies here. That's funny. Okay. I will say YGX, it was looking pretty. It was pretty even. I will say, I think Mbitious, I really like their choice in the very beginning of their set a lot more than what YGX did, but I understand it. But the only reason why I say that is because he was sitting there, he was trying to fix nothing. There's nothing to fix, right? Because he fixed his suit. He didn't have a suit to fix. So I think if they were both wearing suits, it would have looked a little bit better. but only one other guy has a suit. You know, but I think they held this down. It was pretty clean here, but it just looked like content to me, I think. But it's clean. Execution about similar, but I would say they are not fully letting go of their groove as much as I think the choreo calls for. It feels very clean, but also I think they were way more even in their execution in comparison to what they were doing. But also take note though, it could be a camera angle thing, because I'll give one benefit to the side-by-side is you can do a direct comparison on it. Was the crew going off of who they were replicating, or were they going off of what it was supposed to be? So if you look here, they are pretty dead on. That's great. These guys, he's propped up a little bit, and it could be because of the camera angle, but his leg is more parallel to the ground. But also look at the camera angle that we have here. This camera's lower, so it could just be a camera thing for that. Yeah, I like the cha-cha. Like, I just really like that. I don't think it registered as clean with YGX, with just that last little section there. Hold on, let me go back. Yeah, I think it's because it could be a camera angle thing too. That plays a way bigger role than I think people realize. Like, a lot of people don't give credit to the camera people, or they also don't critique the camera people enough sometimes, where like if you get a certain camera angle, it can look phenomenal. If you get the wrong camera angle, it can look like a hot mess express. So not only are they being challenged in the K-pop, K-dance replication, it is partially the cameraman's job. He needs to make sure he gets as close as possible to how the choreography needs to look that's being replicated, because if the angle is off, it can make them look off too. And that's my note. And sometimes the camera does matter. That was very clean. That was just, that energy was really high there. So I just think the beginning up until that point, I really feel was just like, it kind of felt just kind of midline when it comes to expectation. It kind of just feels like, okay, YGX is just doing choreography to a 17 track, you know. But then they hit this, and it really felt like they're investing a little bit more in the track. This was hilarious. I love just the which is really fun, and it matches the aesthetic, but they're doing a lot more. I love it when he kicks it and then they drop with the switch. I love this. Great formation choice here. This was also great. Dun, 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 dun. This was fun with the opening of the doors. Great gimmick here. Yeah, so just taking a look here, it is very much cleaner from YGX, but we do have one of our dancers from YGX. I think he's just he's not going as full in his lower half as much as he should be. Look. But it's still so minor. It's only when you pause it you can really tell. But then he brings it back together. So like his range, and it could also, it's not really his pants because they're all wearing similar pants, but just the dips and the outs, and you know, a lot of that is not quite as large as it needs to be, you know? But I love what he does here. It's such a great pocket, and it looks really nice and clear. I do know with Mbitious, whoever was featured for that one, he wasn't as clear in the posture of that execution. He was just moving his arms, which obviously it wasn't his choreo, so it makes sense why he may have felt that way. But that felt really fitting YGX's set. It does. That's really fun with the wave. It was super fun. But even here, notice that, I mean, even... I hate the fact that this is coming up. Well, just notice that even with YGX, they weren't clear on their hands either. You know, so I kind of give Mbitious a pass here on theirs, because even YGX wasn't clear on what their hands were doing either. That was that is hard to do clean. That was nice. That is tricky to do, and they had everybody do it. And I like how they all didn't drop at the same time, so it kind of looked like it was only 4 people supposed to drop and 3 stayed up. So that would just be my one little note too, where they have to sit and hold it. With the That's really funny. I love that a lot. And they have to see. Now that, hold on. Now it makes me curious. Let me go back. Did they do that for Mbitious? Hold on. They did! Oh my gosh, how did I miss this? And they're just holding it. Yeah, that was good. That was good. They're like, sometimes they like to be overly dramatic. Oh my gosh, I love that. That was really good. Man, that was super, super fun. Now, if I were to choose, oh man, this is honestly the toughest one to choose a winner on for myself. Mbitious versus YGX. I'm gonna be honest, I was gonna go with Mbitious until YGX pulled this situation. I think them doing this choice and taking the risk to make it that humorous, I think is what really did it for me. So I would pick YGX over Mbitious for this first challenge. I'm not factoring in fan count or anything like that, because remember, I'm looking at everybody as objectively as possible, even the ones I've known for a long time, like Just Jerk. They don't get away from criticism if needed. I feel that with the two of them, I think I really like the directions both of them took. I think YGX in their second song really helped compensate for their first song. Honestly, I think it's a legit toss-up. I think either could have taken it. I think if Mbitious took it, that would make sense because they had really nice choices. They were very creative choices, especially in the beginning, and they had some aspects in the second part. But YGX also, they held it down. They were very clean with the choreo. Do I feel like some of the essence was a little bit missing from the choreo that wasn't theirs? Yes. But do I think that it was enough to where it factors in, oh, they shouldn't win? I think they were a little bit cleaner on the floor work. But also, I may blame the camera for that too. You know, so I feel like there's a lot of other factors that factor into whether or not somebody could have ended a certain way, but also the ending fairies. YGX had really funny ending fairies in comparison to Mbitious. Mbitious also had some near the tail end as well. So honestly, I would lean more towards a tie and put it up to the fan votes more so than me actually pick one or the other. But if I had to pick, I would just 51% I would give it to YGX, even though I think Mbitious held it down and I really liked a lot of their moments. I do think they were a tad bit, I think YGX was just a little bit cleaner and just to a certain degree. But then part of me is also like, you know what, I really liked Mbitious set because there wasn't really any part of it that felt super boring, but I could also tell there were certain parts where it really didn't look like they knew what was going on. No, that was a bit harsh. That's not what I meant. I actually mean, I really think that there's, at least with the section with YGX where they had it was more like a whacking. I would cater more whacking than locking there. I think that YGX maintained essence the whole time, and I think Mbitious kind of dropped the pocket or the groove that they were supposed to have in that moment, and I think that could have been enough to really have YGX ranked a tad bit higher. And they had a great surprise moment. They really committed to their character, and I think that's why I would barely pick YGX, if that makes sense. So man, though, this was freaking great though. I love this challenge. This was awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful in some way. I've really been enjoying this series. And if you are on Patreon, you guys have already seen this challenge weeks before those of you that are seeing it on YouTube. That is because I try to keep early release, all of that stuff, ad-free content, all of that on Patreon as I make content, and then I release it slowly onto YouTube. So if you're somebody that's impatient like myself, you can head on over to Patreon and see if there's any options over there that would incline you to want to just binge all of these reactions, because I've been having a total blast watching this, and it's been really great to get into discussions with everybody. So, but yeah, I will go ahead and catch you guys on the flip side. Bye.